Hi, I'm Maggie Harley with the Google News Lab. Welcome to the second of our series in tips and tools to help make your journalism a little bit more effective, efficient, and creative. Today, we are going to be talking about tools for working with your collaborative newsroom. So we're all sitting here at home, kind of alone, like lighthouse keepers in our lighthouse, trying to connect with everybody else. But there's ways to make sure we're all on the same page and working together, and that's what we will talk about today. I am part of the Google News Lab under the Google News Initiative. We've got 3 pillars. I'm working with the first one to work with journalists to elevate and strengthen journalism in a digital age, help you tell your stories online better. We also have a team working with publishers, and we're going to show you a publisher tool to help make your website a little bit more engaging, drive subscriptions, find new revenue streams. We'll be looking at that Realtime Content Insights later in this session. The third E, we're trying to empower news organizations to develop new tools to help journalism and keep the information landscape strong. And that comes in the form of innovation grants and engineer developing tools just for journalists. So we can look at those as well. So all of the tools I'm going to talk about today and dozens more are on our news training website, g.co/news training. And there you can find all sorts of modules in little bite-sized pieces. There's courses, tools, 5 to 15-minute lessons that you can do at your own pace and come back to whenever you want. And to see this series again, you can go right here on the homepage, GNI Live, and you can see the whole schedule of YouTube live streams that we're going to be doing. So we've already introduced Pinpoint, which is a wonderful AI tool that helps you parse massive amounts of documents. Last week, we looked at tips and tools for covering elections, which I hope you were able to use. You can still use them as the election's not over, or the contesting is not over. Today, we're doing remote collaboration, how to work together even though we're apart. Next, in 2 weeks, we'll be doing podcasts, so put that on your calendar. After that is journalism and machine learning, which will be really exciting. We're going to train an artificial intelligence tool how to learn how to set a target and find it. So that will be super interesting, a great experiment. And lastly, just before the holidays will be verification. So you can go here to this g.co/news training page and find the calendar and click on the link, and it will just add it directly to your calendar. You'll get reminders and everything. So today, the collaborative newsroom. So undoubtedly, you know, when we all got into COVID, we thought this would just be temporary, but now we are looking at the long haul. And with that in mind, Google News Initiative helped create a playbook called the Distributed Newsroom Playbook. And if you go to this link, fathom.distributednewsroom.com, you can see this wonderful playbook, how to manage distributed teams, ways to create a smooth workflow so you're communicating well, training modules, how to improve audience engagement, and even something on technology and tools, which is what I'm going to be focusing on today. But take a look at this playbook, especially if you're trying to manage a distributed newsroom. It's very, very useful. And it's not only all about Google tools, there's all sorts of tools. Some of the Google tools are not highlighted at all. So take a look at that, and I'm sure you will get new ideas. So here we are, trying to pedal a bike trying to do things together that we often do alone, or trying to do things alone we often do together. So today we're going to be talking about tools to help with communication, with collaboration, and then I'm going to show you that kind of behind the scenes tool called Realtime Content Insights, which shows how your audience and your community are engaging with your website and gives you tips and tricks to make it better, to deepen that engagement, and take a good hard look at analytics, get some ideas. So communication is really at the heart of what we all do. We're not only communicating with our community, but we're also trying to communicate clearly and effectively with each other. And I'm sure your newsrooms have all sorts of internal tools, but there are other tools that we just use in our daily life that can be used very effectively with our teams. One, which is not a Google tool, is Slack, which is sort of communication system. It's like direct messaging, and a lot of teams or projects set this Slack channel up so you can communicate without having to filter through all of your hundreds of other work emails and newsletters and things. There's also Google Meet, which is a video chat. I'm sure you've done something like it. I spend all day in front of my screen talking to my colleagues, but it's almost as good as being there. There's also Zoom, same thing, different platform. So we're going to look at some different tools that you probably use every day, but may not know about all the different ways that they can be used. There's some sort of little behind the scenes tricks that help us work together instead of working against each other. So it doesn't have to be a tug of war. We can just all zoom off much more efficiently. So I'm sure you use mail products every day. It doesn't have to be Gmail. But the beauty of the whole G Suite is that everything is integrated and it works together. And this is definitely not a sales presentation. It's just a sort of behind the scenes look at how, if you're using these tools, how you can use them a little bit better. One of my favorite tools is finding a time on a calendar. So if you're trying to set up a meeting with just one person or maybe a whole team, and if you're all using Google Calendar, you don't have to email back and forth. What time is it for you? I'm free on Friday at 10 o'clock. Well, it's not good for me. You can just go to your calendar. Say you want to create a new meeting. I want to do it with my News Lab team. Okay, look, there's 16 of us, and we're all in different time zones, from here to South America, Europe, and Asia. So good luck. Let's say we want to meet in a couple of weeks, Wednesday. Let's see if we can find a time spanning 10 time zones and get everybody on it. So you find a time, and it will suggest times when everybody can meet. And look, you can see everybody's schedule. And the bar right here, it looks like that might work with everybody. And so you can just click on that, push save. I'm not going to do it because it's going to put something on all my colleagues' calendars and they'll kill me. But this is for demonstration purposes. And there you go. You can also do it with just one person. So maybe I want to meet with Vincent, who's in London. So you add your guest here or your team, and then find time. And then look, you can see his calendar with your calendar. And it compares them. And look, it finds a time, or it gives you a whole list of suggested times when everyone can attend. So this is super useful. It eliminates all of that relentless back and forth. What time is good for you? Oh, can I change it? You can also, in the settings, allow your counterparts to change the time, to modify time, or to share it with other people if you like. So that's a wonderful trick on your calendar. Find a time for mutual meetings. Time saver, big time finder. Another one of my favorite sites is little known is, it's just called Sites, sites.google.com, and it helps you create your own site, sites.google.com, and you can use it to make a team website. So everybody is literally on the same page for planning or to manage a project. And so there's a template. It offers you different templates, or you can make your own. For example, you wanted to manage a project with the investigative team. So you just click on this, and it's very simple. You just type in correctly, play with how it looks. You can play with typeface, and then you've got your own customizable website here. And it offers things, it offers a template, but it's very easy to manipulate that, move it around. You can drag in your own images. You can embed stuff with an embed code. Take stuff from your Google Drive, play with the layout, and so on. Look, and put in videos, calendars, maps, documents, slides. You can share everything that your team is working on and have it in one place. So that's sites.google.com. And it's a very useful way to keep everybody together. And these are all free. So there you go. Make one for your news team. All right, another little known free thing that is really useful for surveying your own team or even communicating with your audience or your community to get feedback is Google Forms. So it's just forms.google.com. And if you go there, you can create your own form. Here, I'm going to just jump out to the actual site. And it gives templates again, or you can create your own from scratch. So let's give this a try. The really cool thing about it is, I'm going to just put this link in the chat. If you want to play along, you can go to this link and take the poll. And when we get answers, we will be able to see real time what answers are. And so it drops the answers into a, real-time visualization and into a spreadsheet that you can manipulate and play with. So as people are answering, we can see that almost half the people have a dog, 14% have a dog and a cat, same amount of people have neither a dog or a cat, and so on. So this is really great if you're trying to pull your team on what they think of a project, get feedback on a project, finding a consensus on something, or if you're trying to poll your community or get feedback, say, we're interviewing the governor next week. What should we ask the governor during our interview? And you poll your community and they can answer, and you can embed that on your website and people can see it as the answers are coming in. So that's Google Forms. You can use them as polls or surveys, feedback, event signups, all sorts of things. So you've probably used Google Docs before, but there's all sorts of little tips and tricks in the Google Doc that you can use. You can use an @ sign, and that will add a colleague from your address book. You can share a document. You've probably seen how to do this. And you can share it to your colleagues. Like so, and send a message. You can make them an editor or just a viewer or commenter. and send that on. Another thing you can do, and this is really good Teams, is comment on a shared document. And documents can have up to 100 people sharing the same document. You can share a document, comment on it, and then assign a task to a colleague. So you can input a comment here or do Control-Option-M, that's the shortcut. There I am, Maggie Farley. And say I want my colleague, Carla, to check it out and tell me what she thinks. Check this out. Give your feedback, please, Carla. And then you click that box, and it will be assigned to Carla. Carla will get an email saying, hey, you've been assigned a task on this document. Check it out. So that's a nice way to keep everybody on the page. You can see what everybody else has been assigned to do. And when you finish your assignment, you just click the checkbox and it's resolved. You might also notice this other column here. Have you ever played with this? On the side of your doc, you can add something to your calendar. You can say you like this graphic and you want to keep it. You can just add it to your Google Keep. That's that little orange light bulb there. This is tasks. You can assign yourself a task and you can put it on your calendar, all sorts of things. Review tips on docs, for example. And it keeps it all right here. You can add a map. Here I am in Boulder, Colorado, talking to you from home. And then there's all sorts of add-ons you can get from the Google extension store that work with docs, and so on. So these are all the little things that you can just do within a Google Doc and the Google Calendar, things that you probably use every day and don't know about all of these added functionalities that are designed to work well with Teams and to be integrated with each other. You can also do that with the spreadsheets, or the slides, anything that's in the G Suite. You can share, annotate, comment, it all works together. So that's really good for Teams as well. Next, I'm going to show you Jamboard, which is one of my favorite new things that I've just kind of recently discovered. And actually, if you go into your you can reach it from your little menu here if you're signed into your G Suite. If you click on that thing that looks like 9 dots and scroll down, you see you have all of your integrated things right here, all of your features. But if you scroll down to Jamboard, you can open it up there. And then you can create a new Jamboard and share the link. And so I think that we've just put the Jamboard code. So why don't you join the Jamboard that I've created, if you'd like. So you can do this. You can use this as a whiteboard for brainstorming. So instead of standing up there in front of the whiteboard and scribbling down things, oh, look, we got some people who are playing. So if you want to go ahead and answer this question, what are some ways you connect with your team, even though you're working apart? Look, someone says hi. And so you can write the writing tool. That's what they're doing. You can erase it. Oh, somebody's erasing. You can add a sticky note which is fun. Color. And move it around. You can even add images. So say I wanted to, we're going to have a pet parade. We're all going to show off our pets. Well, my dog is sleeping now, so I'm just going to add a picture of my dog instead of parading her in front of the camera. There she is. You can even do things like have a meme contest. You can pop in GIFs. There's all sorts of fun things that you can do on this Jamboard. There's the next one. Fantastic. So this is just a way to collaborate, to brainstorm, to pop a bunch of ideas up, and then you can share it, you can keep it, you can analyze it, and it's there for you to work with. So that's fun. Jamboard. And so this was a video of people designing a suitcase together. The perfect suitcase. All right, so those are some tools to help you keep connected with your team. But when you're all working remotely, it's also difficult to stay connected with your community, your news community, the audience that you're trying to make participants. You want to know how they're engaging with what you're creating. Is it working? Are you communicating? Are you connecting? So there's something called Realtime Content Insights and some other data tools that the Google engineers have created just for newsrooms. So if you go to goo.goal/data tools, you can see these tools, and it helps you identify who's engaging with what, what's trending in your region, and so on. So if you go to that data tools link, you'll see this. And there's 3 parts to it. And so they all work together. And they all work on top of Google Analytics, which is free. And this is also free. So it takes the data from your Google Analytics and it helps you dive into it and analyze it a little bit better. And so this takes a little bit deeper and a little bit broader. So the first thing you'd want to do is go to the news tagging guide, and it helps you decide what you're going to focus on. What are your goals? What kind of metrics are you interested in? Do you want to see how many people watch the videos? Do you want to see how long they spend on the site? Do you want to see how much they're sharing? So you can go through the process. You add your Google Analytics account free and try to set up your tags. And then it will give you an embed code that you can just paste right into your HTML. Have to be a developer to do it. But if you hand this to your developers, they'll know exactly what to do. It's really intuitive. So first you select what kind of data you want to collect. And then the second part is News Consumer Insights. And it helps you see who's engaging with your news and your content and how to develop that. So let's check that out. Let's go to News Consumer Insights. So the first thing you do is to add Google Analytics account to it and authorize it to view your data. It has stringent privacy controls, so don't worry about that. And then it looks at your readers' engagement over the last 30 days. This is really great because it gives you an instant evaluation of what kind of improvements you could do to engage your readers more. So it divides them into casual readers, people who just pop in. Maybe they saw a link on Twitter or something that you put out there and they just popped in from that link. Maybe it's someone in your community who checks you out every day, a loyal reader, or the most loyal readers, someone who has a subscription or is a member, who's actually, really values your content and is willing to pay for it. So it shows you where people are coming from, how long they're staying, how often they come. And then it gives you top-line insights. Looking at the analytics on your site, it tells you that your brand lovers come, their ad revenue is 98 times higher on average than casual readers. So that makes sense. And then it suggests what kind of tags to offer. There's also an area for reader revenue, how to improve your reader revenue strategy. And it identifies, optimize, it shows you how to convert maybe a casual reader into a loyal reader, and ultimately down the funnel to become a brand lover. It has the same thing for video, if you've got video on your site. And then it's got this playbook right there on the site for you to refer to. So you can dive really deep into the playbook, but the cool thing about it, I think, is that it's got all of the insights right there, instantly evaluating and offering suggestions right on News Consumer Insights website. The other thing that you can see are real-time content insights, and that was the third pillar of the three that we saw. And this is showing how people are engaging with your content, all the stuff you've created in real time. So right now, how many readers, and this is demo data, it's not real data, how many readers are looking at this story right now? There's 300. You can even see where they come from. You can see if they are loyal readers, the casual readers. This purple C shows the more casual readers. You're really looking for those brand loyalists. This shows recirculation or sharing, and it shows, are people sharing this article? Is it getting a lot of virality? And this shows how fast your page is loading. And so to keep readers interested, you want your page to load really quickly. So this one shows that you could improve the loading speed, the page speed, and keep the readers interested. But even with a slow page, this one is really getting some good viewership. You can even scroll down. Oh, this is cool. A lot of newsrooms I visited actually have a giant screen showing all of these stories real time, like a leaderboard. And so, we're not saying just pander to the most popular. We're saying, what if you have a really great story that you think that people should be engaging with and they're just not? And it shows you. And so maybe you want to change the play of that story. Maybe you want to put it on your landing page, your homepage. Maybe you want to make sure it loads faster, something. So it's not telling you what to do, but it's giving you lots of information so you can make good decisions. It also tells you, it gives you a list of the stories and how they're doing, and you can filter it by the author, can filter it by the section, and so forth. And it has all those little measurements that we talked about: what kind of readers you're getting, whether it's getting shared, how it's loading, and so on, so forth. It does the same thing for video and historic performance. So you can look at how that article has performed over the last 30 days. Or set your time frame as you like, and then judge it by your top metrics. Another cool thing that you can see is the trends that are happening right now in your region. So you can see in your area what people are searching for. Again, this is demo data. This is not showing you what's trending right now, because maybe it wouldn't be baby face on Instagram. It might be something about the election or the new vaccine that was just announced. I bet that would be right up there in the top real-time search trends. And just a reminder, you can go to trends.google.com and see everything that's trending real time. But here you go, it's all embedded. If you were signed in here and not using demo data, you can see everything that's trending in real time. So that's a really cool thing. And so you can make this accessible to all the journalists in your newsroom, see how everything is playing, share the analytics, and use that as the basis for your morning meeting or so forth. So again, you can find all those tools at goo.gle/data tools. And again, it will give you the code for your data tagging. And it helps you with video analytics, user engagement, reader revenue, all of those things. And you can decide what's most important to you and what you want to embed in your code to track them. And it gives you the code. So there's nothing difficult about it. You just have to copy the code and paste it in, and your developer will know how to do that. Okay, so that's goo.gle/tools. If you have any questions about that, pop them in the chat box, but we're also happy to set up customized trainings just for your news group. So we go over this with your content and help you set it up and so forth. So just email me, mfarley@google.com, or newslabsupport@google.com, and you can set up a training for a group. So all of the tools that I talked about today and many, many more are here at .co/news training. So go ahead and take a look at that. You can find this video here on YouTube. It will stay here, and you can come back and look at it anytime or share it with your friends or your colleagues. And keep in touch with us. We're going to be doing another training 2 weeks, November 23rd, on podcasts, and lots of tools that you can play with for podcasts, which are becoming increasingly popular as we're all sitting around at home. Okay. Thanks very much for joining us today. I hope to see you again in 2 weeks, and just come back here anytime to watch it again. You can also find all the previous workshops that we've done on YouTube, GNI Live, or go to the g.co/news training site and see the whole schedule. All right, hope to see you again. Thanks, hope you found it helpful.